Let me ask you this. How many waves do you reckon you catch in a surf session? 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 if you're really lucky. But here's a different question. How many waves do you reckon you miss every surf session? That's what we're interested in, and that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. So whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced surfer, we all want to catch more waves. And with the number of people surfing around the world constantly increasing, how can we make sure that we get our fair share of waves without being a d*** in the water? Well, that comes down to knowing a few secrets. So let's have a look at how we can ramp up your wave count. Now, if you are new to the channel, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so that you find out whenever a new video is coming out. I'll tell you what, let's get into the tips.
A lot of people look at the worst possible part of a wave and that's where they go. But in surfing, wherever you look, that's where you go. So if you looked at where you wanted to go along the wave and just coordinated there, you'd end up going there. But a lot of people paddle in and they look at their boards and they forget to look at the wave until they're standing and they're safe. Then they want to have a look at the wave. By that time the wave's passed, the moment's passed.
Yeah.
They've almost disconnected with the wave.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you've used the analogy in the past of take the blinkers off, because people aren't even seeing some of the waves that are there. They just follow the pack.
If you look down, there's no peripheral vision. You're just focusing on your feet and your board. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I've stood, I'm safe, let me now surf. Too late.
Yeah.
The moment's gone.
Yeah.
So you could watch two people paddle for the same wave. One person might go, oh, it's steep, as the wave sucks up, and one goes, yeah, it looks like a barrel. So how come two people had on the same wave have like the wave talks to them differently? So if you got a positive mind frame going into the wave, you're going to want part of that wave. You're going to want to be feeling the energy and surfing it. But if you go into it with a negative mind frame because you're worried about what's happening in the future or what's happening in the past, you might go, oh, on the last wave I fell off. And that negative mindset, it kind of brings tension to the situation. Your mind starts overthinking, so you feel like you got no time, and then you end up rushing, and whatever you thought, you end up creating,
Yeah.
which is possibly a big wipeout.
Be brave. Be braver in the water.
Yeah, you kind of want to take a couple of calculated chances. So what I mean by be brave is that when a wave comes, a lot of people just go, no, I'm not going, and they just paddle over it. They won't even look twice at it. At least turn around and just go, maybe. And by saying maybe, you're not saying yes, you're not saying no, but by going maybe and then having a look at it, the chances are that the wave actually may be makeable, it might be good. Because the wave from the front looks really, really big, but when you spin around, it actually looks a hell of a lot nicer. So there's power in that word maybe, and you should use it more often.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another thing here as well, a lot of people, they miss waves because of that fear that kicks in.
Yep.
But another thing you like says, fell forwards.
Yeah, you have to make mistakes in order to learn.
Yeah.
So think of a baby learning how to walk. It falls over all the time until it learns how to balance and how to coordinate.
Yeah.
So likewise in surfing, even your first wave or your second wave, you almost want to fall off once or twice and then you feel better about yourself. Like, okay, that's over and done. I've learned from it. Now let's carry on. But a lot of people paddle out. They won't want to make mistakes. And then the longer they sit there without trying or without making mistakes, their minds start to get more and more and more negative. They're better off going out there straight away within the first 5 minutes, get that done. Like, have the fall, get it out of the system, and then surf and have fun.
Yeah. Be adaptable. Explain that in a bit more detail for me.
Okay, so a lot of people do all the checks. They go to the beach, they get the line up, they see the tide, they see the bank, they see the wave, and they paddle out. But the tide might drop off, the water might start moving differently, the wind might start blowing, a different crowd might paddle out in the water, and everything changes. So you need to be able to spot the changes and change with it.
Yeah.
You don't want to just be sort of like rigid in decision making and stubborn. So like you could paddle out, the tide could change, and the bus stop might shift 100 meters down the beach. You've got to be able to see that, recognize it, and change and move with it.
Yeah. Your next tip is all about reading the signs. Like we have signs that show us whereabouts we need to go if we're driving a car. You say it's very similar in surfing.
It drives me mad when people are like sheep. So what happens is like, oh, there's people there, and they just paddle in the pack like a sheep.
Yep.
From the beach, you can see where the waves are breaking because the whitewater leaves a treasure map of where the sandbank is.
Yeah.
Sit at the peak of that treasure map. It's one sure way to get waves that you know they're definitely breaking there.
Gliding rather than furiously paddling.
Yeah, so if you watch someone drowning, that they thrash and they're physically clawing and they don't get to pool water. But if you watch somebody who swims really well, that they glide through the water and they don't make any bubbles or splashes. So when you catch a wave, if you can glide into your wave, you are going to feel a lot more relaxed. You're using less energy. You're going to have a lot more peripheral vision. You're going to feel in control of that ride, as opposed to just like, I've got to catch this wave, I've got to stand up, I've got to... Where's the wave gone and you've missed it?
Yeah, yeah. Take note of who sucks.
Yeah, so I know it sounds horrible, but you can see someone that moves well, that they're called stylish surfers.
Yeah.
And someone that doesn't move well, because they don't move well, they're not going to probably cover a lot of ground in the ocean, or they're going to make mistakes and fall off. So when someone who doesn't move well catches the wave, watch them, and if they're falling off, because we're creatures of habit and we do things over and over again, there's a good chance you'll fall off the next wave. So if you know, like let's say that dude in the yellow just fell and he doesn't move well, if he paddles into a wave, just stay there and wait for him to fall. Because he's a creature of habit, he doesn't move well, he's probably going to fall. Which means that whenever he catches a wave, there's a very good chance that you can have that wave.
Yeah.
Now, if there's 4 or 5 people out there, or say even 50% of the guys in the water don't move well, there's 50% more waves that you could catch inside of that session.
Yeah, yeah, so it's a little golden nugget. So obviously that doesn't mean drop in, but what it does mean is identify those surfers who aren't very good, and they might give you an opportunity to catch a wave that they would have otherwise had they not fallen. So I think that there was 7 ways that you can catch more waves with less energy. For me, I know that the biggest change for me has been learning to really glide into the waves. So notice whereabouts the peaks are and glide into the waves. That has helped me catch so many more waves. What has been your favorite tip? Leave it in the comments below. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then make sure that you do subscribe. Also hit that notification bell. Also make sure that you come over to Facebook, join the community there, the Surf Hacks community. And if you want to know more about taking your surfing to the next level, then please click the link in the description below. You can take the free surf assessment so that you can see whereabouts you are in your surfing, and you know what you need to work on so that you can take your surfing to the next level.